All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle one of the absolute basics of programming, something you've just got to get your head around if you want to code. We're talking about variables in Python. So first things first, what even is a variable? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a labeled box where you can stick some information. It's really just a name that points to a value. And the second you use that little equal sign, boom, you've just created one. It's that simple.
All right, so the whole toy box thing is a great way to think about it, but what does this look like in real life? In actual code. Let's make this real and see it in action. Okay, here's our first example. Look at this. Age equals 10. That's it. We just made a variable. The name of our box, or our variable, is age. And what do we put inside? The number 10. See? Super straightforward.
And it's not just for numbers either. You can store words too. In this case, our variable is called name, and the value inside is the word Sarah. Those quote marks, by the way, are just how we tell Python, hey, this is text, not a command. All right, so now we know what a variable is, but how do we name them? Turns out you can't just call them whatever you feel like. Python has a few rules of the road you gotta follow.
So, what are you allowed to use? Well, your options are pretty simple, actually. You can use letters, you can use numbers, and you can use the underscore. That's your whole toolkit right there.
But, and this is a big but, here's the first major rule you gotta remember. While you can use numbers in the name, you absolutely cannot start a name with a number. It has to start with a letter or an underscore. Seriously, this one gets everybody at first, so just burn it into your brain.
Okay, next up, Python is case sensitive. What does that mean? It means age with a capital A and age with a lowercase a are two completely different variables. They're two separate boxes as far as Python is concerned. They are not the same thing at all.
And last but not least, this one's a little different. It's not going to break your code, but it is maybe the most important rule for writing good code. And that is, your name should be clear and meaningful. Calling something score instead of just S makes a world of difference because it helps you or anyone else reading your code understand what's going on.
Okay, we've got the rules down, so now let's look at some examples. Some good, some bad, and really put these rules to the test.
First up, player name. This is a fantastic name. Why? It's made of letters and an underscore, so it follows the rules. But more importantly, it's super clear. You look at that and you know exactly what kind of information it's holding. No guesswork needed. How about score 1? Yep, this one's perfectly fine too. It starts with a letter, it uses a number, totally legit. You could easily see yourself using this if you had to track, say, the score for player 1, player 2, and so on. And here we have a classic mistake. 1 score. This will break your code. It's just not allowed. And why is that? Because, like we said, you can't ever start a variable name with a number. Python just won't accept it.
So to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with this one big idea. All those technical rules about what characters to use, where numbers can go, that stuff's for the computer. But the most important principle, making names clear and meaningful, that's for us. It's for the humans. It's what makes code readable and easy to work with. So next time you're naming a variable, don't just think, is this allowed? Instead, ask yourself, if I come back to this in 6 months, will I have any clue what this means?